It is time for your favorite Android podcast from the crew of blindandroidusers.com. Kick back and enjoy another fine episode from these Google fanboys as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here are your hosts. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 35 of the Blind Android Users podcast. We're recording this today on Saturday, August 7th, 2021. I'm Warren Carr with my hosts, Mariam and Austin. In our today's episode, in the must-have apps, we'll be talking about color detection, something that a blind person who lives by themselves or cannot see colors would need one of these things in order to function. In our spotlight section, we'll be talking with the folks from Envision. We will also be talking about an app of the week. This week, our app of the week is coming from our friend Kareen Kiwan. Of course, as always, Austin will be bringing us the announcement of the week. So, guys, how are we doing?
I'm great. It's been a little bit busy. I'm too sad because my vacation got canceled, but overall things are good.
I'm doing good too in India. We are all happy because India has got the first gold medal of Tokyo Olympics. So we are very happy in javelin. So a lot of celebrations are on here.
Yeah, Egypt has gotten in Egypt we've gotten like our first golden medal as well in karate. So yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely beautiful. So, today we have a couple of our members not with us. Doug is not here today, and Edward is out there. I sent Edward out on a little drinking binge around the UK, but in reality, Edward is on vacation, so he's doing family things and all of that. And so, Ed, if you are listening to this, drink one for me, right? One on my behalf, or something crazy like that. So we do wish Edward and his family a wonderful vacation, as they would be having this vacation the next couple of weeks. So, Austin, come on, what's going on in the announcement segment?
So in today's announcement section, this was a very big week for us. We launched our new website. The website was up from before, but this has been a complete rebuild, and Doug helped us rebuilding the website, and we launched it on Thursday. And we want to thank everyone who joined us on the clubhouse when we launched the website. And we need help from the listeners now. You please visit blindandroidusers.com and navigate the website, and give us feedback if anything must be improved, anything must be added. We will not read the feedback on the podcast, but we will definitely implement the feedback on the website. You can do the feedback in two ways. You can either send it using the feedback form. You can either send it to us by email. And also you can subscribe to our newsletter. Also listen to this show till the very end, because there is a special Easter egg in the show, and let's see what happens after listening to the show.
Well, thank you so much for those announcements. And now we'll move on to our next segment, and that is the must-have apps of the week. And this week we're talking about color detection. Austin, are you able to tell colors?
No, I'm not able to tell colors because I don't have vision.
Okay. How about you, Miriam? Can you tell colors?
No, I'm totally blind.
So this is one of those things, though, that we often sometimes don't talk about or, don't pay attention to. I haven't, really looked into color detection apps because I kind of take it for granted because I have a little bit of sight and I can tell colors and things like that. And we realize that sometimes we don't pay attention to the fact that this is a very important thing. And so today we're talking about color detection apps in this segment of the must-have apps. I have searched the Play Store. I found a few, but I think that the most important one for me would be one that when I point my camera at, it should just immediately tell me what the color is. Guys, what is your idea of a color detection app? Would it be something you would like to be told verbally, or would it be something that you want to find on the screen upon pointing your camera at a color, at an object?
Verbally is the better thing.
That's what I thought too, because it's like the text detection that we have in OCR packages, that the thing would automatically tell you what's going on. Now, I haven't found one. I know there's one that does that. I used to have one a while ago. I just don't remember what it is. But we do have some of these things in some of the apps that we talked about, like the OCR packages. Some of them bundle this color detection. And Envision happens to be one of those, isn't it, Mariam?
Yeah, Envision is one of them, and I guess like it's always accurate. When I always want to test those color detectors, what I do is I test it with my camera, and then I ask anyone who said it, is that right? And he says like, yeah, is that pink? I was like, oh, how do you know? I was like, I use Envision. So that's what I really want. I want it to be the most accurate it could be. Envision used to be what it used to do was just start scrambling colors and colors and colors at the same time. And it kind of made me angry because for like in the first when it says the first colors, like it was right, but then it changes its
To
mind. It's like
gray.
no, it's not green. It's blue. So like what? No, that. But right now it doesn't do that. So that's why I decided to use Envision.
So for you, Envision does it. With the understanding that Envision is in the spotlight of this week's episode, it is appropriate that we demonstrate how to find colors using the color feature found in Envision. I will now launch Envision and show you how it works.
Folder, OCR, 4 more item, lookout,
I open up now my OCR folder and find and tap on Envision.
Assistive text Envision AI. Envision AI, magnifier, button.
By default, when you launch Envision, it places you in the text mode, and that's the quick read mode. As I described in my demonstration of the Envision, there are tabs at the bottom. In order to find the color detection feature, we need to find the one that talks about General. In other words, the tab you're looking for near the bottom among the tabs is called General. I will now find that General tab and tap on it.
Read document, General, tab, 2 of 5. General, selected.
We are told that General is the second tab, and that's from the bottom left. Now that I have tapped on General, I have items that popped up as a result of tapping on General. The items that pop up from tapping on General include the following.
Describe scene, out of list.
We have the scene description.
Detect colors.
Detect color, that's what we're looking for. And scan barcode.
Scan barcode.
Let's now tap on color detection, which is the one in the middle.
Detect colors.
I will tap on detect colors and point it at my shirt.
Royal blue.
That's my shirt, royal blue. I will now point it around the room that I'm sitting in.
Black.
Just pointed it at my TV with the screen off, and it says
Gray.
black.
Light cyan.
So that's how Envision works. It verbalizes it as soon as the color is found, and it lets you know what color that is. So if you can afford to get Envision, you probably should look into it because it does color detection very well. That is a brief demonstration of the Envision color finding feature. Now, for those that don't have Envision or something like that, there's a little app that I got earlier today called Color Grab. And while I like the app, however, it does not verbalize. Instead, it displays it near the top of your screen, but it's real time. So as soon as you move your camera focus to something else, it grabs that new color. So if someone doesn't have Envision and they would like to use that color grab would be a good candidate. And it does have ads of course, as always, most apps do, but you could always remove that ads by paying the $2.49. I think that's what the price is. I will now show you color grab. It's my first time of using it, but I'll go through and see what we find.
Color grab. Color grab. Logo. Icon. Camera permission.
When you open up the app, here's what we find.
Camera permission. The app needs the access to your camera in order to pick colors.
Okay.
Your privacy is guaranteed. Got it. Button. Got it.
All right.
Allow color grab to take pictures and record video while using the app. Button.
So if you have Android 11 or higher, you may have this granularity of permissions. So you could choose, hey, allow it only while I'm using the app, or allow always or never. If you're using something earlier than these, you're probably just going to have either allow or don't allow. I think with Android 10, you also probably have a higher granularity compared to other versions of Android. So I'm going to just choose the one that says allow only while I'm using the app.
Icon. On the fly picking.
Here's what we got.
Icon. Tap everywhere on the screen to pick the color in the viewfinder.
Okay.
Got it. Button. Color grab. Get Pro version.
I will now try to describe the layout of the app. So when we open up the app and go through all of those permissions and blah, blah, blahs, we are now in the main UI of the app. Let's now see what the layout is. I'm starting from the top left corner.
Blue. Color grab.
So it tells you what color it is seeing. You could also hear those little beeps every time I move the phone because this is a real-time color detection. Now, going right from there, we have...
Get Pro version.
There's a Get Pro version.
Pick colors from photos.
Can choose something from your photo.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Settings.
There's the settings, and the last item here is...
More options. Button.
More options. Let's go to the settings.
Settings. Settings. Preview conversions and list.
When you open up the settings, it says preview conversions, and below that we've got the following.
Camera left cell, X. Camera left cell. Camera right cell, HSV/HSB. Camera right cell. Colors list item, HSV/HSB. Colors list item. Reference catalog, RAL Classic. Reference catalog. Interpretation language, English. Interpretation language.
You can go in here and change your language if English is not your language.
Advanced.
And then under advanced, let's see what we got.
Locking indication, active. Locking indication. Indication beep volume, normal. Indication beep volume.
So I think what this does is that if you click here, you could change how loud the volume could be. Let's take a look at that, shall we?
Indication beep volume. High and list.
So there's a high.
Normal, checked. Normal.
And we have the normal one checked.
Low.
There's low.
Silent.
Silent.
Cancel button out of list.
And cancel. I tap on cancel.
Settings. Indication beep volume, normal. White reference position, left. Noise cancellation, smart. Brightest display, automatically adjust the display brightness to maximum. Checkbox, not checked. Done.
And there's a done.
Color grab.
I am now back in the main UI. Let's look at the more options, see if there's anything in here.
More options. Pop-up window. Rate the app and list.
In the more options, we have rate the app.
About.
About
Calibration guide.
calibration guide.
Help.
Help. That's the last one. I'm going to go back.
Press back again to exit. Color grab.
I am back in the main UI now, and now there are some tabs at the bottom. There are a couple tabs that I noticed at the bottom, and above each of those tabs on both sides of the phone are some vertically arranged buttons. Let's start from the bottom left and see what that tab is at the very bottom.
Real-time camera tab selected.
That's the one that is selected. That's why we're hearing the beeps and it's detecting the colors. Now, above that real-time camera,
Color samples tab. Real-time camera tab selected.
Now, above that real-time camera, just above that, we have the following, and I'm going upward from there.
Calibration mode button.
There's that calibration mode. Slide my finger up.
Decrease exposure level button.
Slide my finger up.
Increase exposure level button.
And increase. Those are the buttons that we have there on the left-hand side. Now, to the right edge of the phone at the bottom, we have the
color samples tab.
The color sample. So above that color samples, there are some vertical buttons. There are buttons that are arranged vertically above that. And here are the items that I'm talking about.
White balance mode button. Viewfinder size button. Flashlight state button. Camera switching button.
Those are the buttons that we have there. And that would be the layout of the color grab. You keep hearing those beeps. If I point it this way.
Black color grab.
And let me move it to something else.
Gray.
So I'm just pointing it around in the room here. Now, if you want to purchase it, like I said earlier, near the top here, you could tap on where it says Get Pro. And I think that thing is like a little over $2. Let's take a look.
Get Pro version. Premium pack. Help us. Be Pro. We apologize for including ads. Ads help us keeping color grab free and superb. Optionally, you can remove the ads for small and fair price.
Okay.
Unlimited. No ads forever. Enjoy the silence. Eligible for future premium features. No. Big thank you. Support color grab. $2.49. Purchase button.
And that's how you go about removing those ads. Like I said, it is very simplistic and you could try to get it if you want. It does have ads at the top. I probably will buy it just for giggles, and so I could write to them and make them implement a way of making it talk automatically to for those of us who are blind. So absolutely, I'm going to buy that, and so I could make this suggestion to the developer.
That's so great. I feel like it has a lot of features, like because it's only for colors. But what I would like to see in the future, because as far as I know, it doesn't exist. As a person who was blind since birth, I think that having an application that would tell you the color, because if I want to change, like if I want to choose some clothes, so having application that would tell you a color and what colors that would fit with that color, it would be such an amazing feature. I know it sometimes depends on like what the person thinks of, like if those colors would fit, but at the same time there are colors that can fit with each other like normally. So if there would be an application that supports that, I think that would be such a great idea.
I see where you're coming from, Mariam. So I think a woman should develop such an app, you know. Girls, I'm not kind of putting you guys down, but I think that because, you know, so oftentimes, you know, my wife would tell me something like, hey, you know, why are you putting on this? I'm like, I don't care because, oh, well, they don't match. I say, I'm not about matching here, you know. So I totally understand what you are saying. See, as a guy, I frankly don't care, but I know this means something to you girls, especially. And of course, we do have guys that care about matching their colors as well. So it's a good idea. Maybe we could find someone that could develop an app like that, especially for the blind. Maybe and call it Dresser or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Miriam, maybe you should look into finding someone to create an app called Dresser.
Yeah, no, I'll think about that because it seems so intriguing. I have been thinking about that for a while. I've seen something similar before, like a couple years ago, but it was in a smart glasses that was like created back in 2016, I guess. And they had this feature, and I was like, okay, I wanted to get the glasses just for this feature, and then I haven't seen it afterwards at all. So.
Yeah, because the whole idea of basic color detection apps is just to let you know what color it is that you're pointing your camera at. And I think that's what a lot of blind people use it for. But your idea of an app, especially dedicated to matching, clothing, when you're wearing your clothing and all of that, especially for a blind person, I think that's a novel app that we don't necessarily have. And it would totally make sense that someone come up with something like that for blind people, so you know how to dress if you're into matching and all that fashion and all of that good stuff. And most especially for you gals, you need something like that, right, Austin? Do you and I, our knuckleheads, do we need something like that, Austin?
We need such thing for us. We really require such thing for us.
I know, right? Yeah.
So, Austin, you are into matching clothing?
No, I'm not into matching clothing. I just pick what I get and wear.
No, yeah, so so what I'm talking about, your knucklehead and my knucklehead, we don't necessarily care whether I'm wearing, gray with blue or, black with, of course, black is universal or whatever, white, those things are universal. But, you and I may not necessarily care whether I have, a brown shirt with yellow pants or something stupid like that, I just don't know. But I think that Miriam's idea is a great idea. I would love to see an app that is dedicated to dressing purposes, just so that blind people know what matches, what would go great with this color and what would not go great with this color. So, yeah, Miriam, maybe you and I will try to find someone to create such an app. I don't think there's anyone doing such a thing.
I'm definitely willing to do that.
So, we will call it Dresser.
No, we could find a fancy name, but just sounds cool for
now. Something like that. Up next is none other than Anna Gaza with the Sullivan Plus color detection feature. Anna?
The color detector I'm going to talk about is actually one of the features in the Sullivan app. As you know, this app does image recognition, OCR, and color detection. I'm only going to talk about color detection today. So,
Sullivan Plus. AI mode, capture, button, capture with the volume keys. Capture, button.
All right, we are on the main screen. Across the bottom we have menu, capture screen, and functions. We want to get to menu. We can tap that icon in the bottom left corner, or we can swipe right with 2 fingers.
Menu screen. Selected. AI mode button.
Now here we have a series of options laid out vertically like a list. I'm going to go through some of them just to give you an idea in case you're not familiar with this app.
Text recognition button.
Text recognition.
Face recognition button.
Face recognition.
Image description button.
Image description.
Fast text scan button.
Fast text scan.
Document recognition button.
Document recognition.
Color recognition button.
Color recognition. Excellent. We're going to tap that.
Single color. Capture. Button. Capture with the volume keys. Capture. Button.
All right, we're back on the main screen. Now we're going to do some color detection. You can either tap the capture button or press one of the volume keys. Just a note, focus needs to be on the capture button for the volume key feature to work. All right, I'm going to point the camera at my exercise disc to find out what color it is. One of the volume keys.
Very dark bluish green.
Very dark bluish green, excellent. Now I'm going to point the camera at a throw pillow that I have. One of the volume keys.
Failed to recognize image.
Okay, this sometimes happens if I'm too close to the object. The camera, I find, needs to be about a foot away. A foot is 30 centimeters, roughly the distance between the tip of your elbow and your wrist.
Light yellowish brown.
All right, now this is interesting. I know that the throw pillow is pink, orangish pink, and next to the throw pillow is a wooden dresser. Light yellowish brown is usually what the color detector says when I'm pointing it at something made out of wood. So as blind people, we need to be very careful about positioning the camera. I usually lay the camera on the object and then pull away carefully. Let's try again.
Reddish gray.
And there you have it.
That would be it about color detection. We now move on to the Spotlight segment. And in our today's Spotlight segment, we have our friend Karthik from Envision. We are delighted to have the folks from Envision, and Karthik, our man of the hour, is here with us. Karthik, we have our friends here, my co-hosts, Ed, Mariam, and Austin, and we are here to grill you up today, my man. Welcome.
Thank you so much, guys, and everyone listening to the podcast. It's super nice to be here with you all once again. So thank you for taking out the time.
All right, I'm going to start right out, Karthik, and I have a twofold question. My first question is, I noticed that we have an update to Envision. That was yesterday that I saw that. And after the update, I was being asked to verify via SMS with an OTP and all of that gets automatically recognized. And so my question is, does that mean that Envision now can read my phone identity? And number two, if it is tied to my phone number, what happens when I change my SIM card? Or would that now translate to mean that I can only use this on my phone that has my SIM card and cannot use it on other devices that I have that are tied to my same Google account? What happened to the account verification process? What led you guys to changing the means of authentication? That's my question.
Sure. So I think before I jump into talking about the whole phone verification update, for people who are listening to the podcast, the update is still in beta, right? So we're testing this out in our public beta. So some of y'all might have the update. Whoever is on the beta version of the Envision Android app, they're going to have the update. And this is also only on Android at the moment. So we're going to be rolling this out slowly. And we're definitely looking to hear feedback from the beta testers about how well this works. So to address your question about why we're doing this, I think the simple answer is security. Right. We have noticed in the past, especially on the Android platform, that, cracked versions of the app, user accounts being shared, across, with different people. So one person buying the subscription, sharing it, and cracked versions of the app and other security issues have happened quite a bit on the Android platform. And, to be honest, some of it is our mistake or our security holes that we have had to plug, and then some of it is because the Android platform is an open platform at the end of the day. And you all know that using Android apps mean that you can also have cracked versions, and you can have a whole bunch of those things, right? So that's the reason why we introduced phone verification, to make the end user's account a lot more secure. So if we add one more level of verification to users' accounts, then there's going to be less chance of cracked apps being used in the wild. Users are going to have much more security. So if their account ever gets shared by mistake or unintentionally with people, they won't be able to use it, and so on, right? So it's the whole point of introducing phone verification was security. Now, to answer your first question, can Envision actually see your phone number? No, Envision does not have direct access to your phone number. So we use a secure verification system to go ahead and verify your phone numbers. And when we do the verification, we don't use your phone number for any other purpose, right? So we don't use it to send you SMS messages. You're not going to get marketing messages from Envision. You're not going to get your phone number is not going to be shared with anybody else. Even Envision does not have direct access to your phone number, right? So we're just going to use a secure verification method to know if your account has been verified or not with your number. And then we're just going to basically allow you to use the app like how you use it every single time. And the second question is, what happens if you change your number? Yes, we are going to also introduce an option for you to update your phone number in a secure way, so that if at all you're updating your phone number, you can go, or if you're changing your number or changing your SIM card, you'll be able to do that. That's something that we're going to be working on. And the second thing is, what will happen if you have a device that does not have a SIM card? You can still go ahead and send the OTP SMS to the device that you have a SIM card for, right? So let's say you have a tablet that doesn't have a SIM card at all, and you have a phone that has a SIM card, and you've already verified your account. If you install Envision on the tablet, which does not have the SIM card, and the moment you go ahead and enter your phone number, you can enter the phone number of your phone, which has the SIM card. You can get the SMS on your phone and then enter the OTP from your phone. You get the OTP there, enter that into your tablet, and it should work fine, right? So
that sounds good.
Can go ahead. Yeah, you can have phone verification happen also on devices that does not have a SIM card, right? So the main idea is we want to make the accounts more secure for the users and for Envision as well. And when we looked at what are all the methods that are out there, the most easiest way for the end users was through phone verification. And so we've implemented that, right? And we're going to be rolling this out slowly. We're going to be listening to what the feedback is from the users. And so far, it's been really positive. Most people are okay with us because they understand that, we're asking them to verify their accounts because of security reasons. And through this podcast, I also want to tell everybody that, Envision will not be using your phone number for any other purpose apart from verification. And we also have made sure that we don't have direct access to your phone numbers to be used in the first place, right? So it's just purely for verification purposes, and that's all.
Thanks. Can I ask a follow-up question, Karthik? And it's about how often you need to verify a device which doesn't have a SIM card. So is it a one-time verification, or would I need to verify a tablet with access, with a device that has access to a SIM card every time I wanted to use that tablet? I can just envisage a situation where, if I don't have a phone signal, or, I might be abroad and the text message charges might be high. If I wanted to use my device that had been previously verified, would that previous verification hold, or would I need to verify it each time I wanted to use it with an SMS?
That's also a great question, Ed. And I think, so the short answer is you just have to verify your account once. That's it, right? So when you install the new update of, the new phone verification update, we're going to ask you to verify your account once, and that's it, right? And if you're going to be using it on a new device, right? Let's say you're logging into a device for the very first time, right? You will be asked to verify your your account at that point, and that's it, right? So ideally, in your entire usage of the Envision app, you should be only asked to verify it once, and that's it.
Yeah. So the Apple approach to 2FA then really.
Exactly.
You verified the device each time. Sorry, the first time you installed the app, but not subsequently. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because that is more than enough for security purposes. So we've tried to really trim the whole thing down and make it only it only be required in the most essential of circumstances, and that is just once in the lifetime of a user who uses the Envision app.
So the way I see it is this: if I, for example, decided to, maybe I'm having some problems with the app or whatever, you go and reset, the app, you clear the cache and clear the storage and all of that, then definitely my thinking is that it's going to ask you for that OTP authentication again. Is that correct?
Yes. So that is exactly like the Apple way, right? So you reset your device or you reset the app or whatever, it is going to ask you to verify your account. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I'm bringing this up so that people are up in the clear that if you decide to do that, you'll have to re-authenticate again. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. No, that is one of the cases. But yeah, like before launching this feature is not something that we decided to, wake up one fine morning and decide to implement. It's actually been something that we've had in the works for almost 3 to 4 months, right? Before the public beta, right? That means we have spoken to a lot of users about this feature. We have tried to really, our design team has spent so much time just talking to users and understanding what is the least painful way of doing this. And what we have right now, I believe, is the least painful way of doing it without compromising the user security at any point, right?
So now let's talk about the good stuff. What do you have in store for us with respect to Envision? Any sales coming up, or what you got cooking back there, Karthik?
Sure. Every year in the summer, at least whatever is the summer here in the Netherlands, we have a summer sale. And this year's summer sale is very, very special to us, especially very special for Android users. So the summer sale is a 30% off on the annual plan and the lifetime plan. So last year, a lot of people requested us to have the summer sale on the lifetime plan as well. So this year we have a discount, a 30% flat discount on the annual plan and the lifetime plan. So everyone who's been wanting to buy Envision can go buy it. Also, we have this year 2 options for users of Envision, right? So they can either buy the app within the App Store, within the Play Store, or they can also go to our website. So they can go to our website, letsenvision.com/sale, and they can make a purchase there. And I would want to add one specific thing, since we're talking to Android users. And especially since we also have a lot of Indian users on Android, this year we have gone ahead and added a lot of different payment methods for Indian users on our website. So if you go to our website, letsenvision.com/sale, and you make a purchase of the annual or lifetime plan from there, you'll be able to pay with all Indian debit and credit cards. You'll be able to pay with UPI. You'll be able to pay with all different types of wallets, including Paytm. So you have Paytm, PhonePe, MobiKwik, Airtel, and JioMoney. So you have all the different wallets that people use. You have UPI. You can pay via UPI. You can have debit and credit cards. So on the website for Indian users, we are offering a lot of payment services. So we have partnered with an Indian distributor, and we're offering this this summer sale on our website as well. So if there are Indian users out there who want to buy the Envision app but can't do so because of Play Store not accepting their payment methods, they can now go to our website, letsenvision.com/sale, and buy it there, get the discount, and also pay with your favorite payment method. So that's a huge plus, I believe, for a lot of Indian users who have been wanting to buy the Envision app.
Do you have different prices for, I mean, like in the Western market, is it going to be different for people in India, that kind of thing? Are you guys considering, maybe like developing countries could maybe make them pay a little bit less compared to me out here in the States and other people in the Western world or something like that?
It is definitely a little bit lesser. The discount amount is the same, right? Everybody across gets a 30% discount. But yeah, like in some developing countries where we have had people tell us that they've not been able to go ahead and afford Envision at the full price, we have reduced the price a little bit lesser. Sorry. So in countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, other Asian countries, countries in Africa. So we've done our best to reduce it, but at the same time try to keep the difference fair enough for the rest of the world as well, right? So yeah, there is a small difference in pricing between what you have in the West and what you have, in countries like India. Yeah.
This is a very fantastic news for all our Indian and Asian and African listeners. So please go ahead and purchase the app. So I have one question, and this is a twofold question. As you said, in India, there is payment methods. A lot of payment methods have been added to Envision. In India, Amazon Pay is very popular. Does Envision support Amazon Pay? And also, which are some of the payment methods that Envision supports in India?
No. So we have PhonePe, MobiKwik, FreeCharge, Airtel Money, Ola Money, Jio Money, PayPal, PayZapp, Paytm, net banking, all banks, UPI as well, all banks. But no, we do not have Amazon Pay at the moment. We can look into it for sure, Austin. But yeah, like we're already offering more payment methods than the Google, Play Store, right? So yeah, we'll definitely try our best to add.
The Play Store does not accept a lot of debit cards already in India.
Yeah.
So
we are accepting.
It's very nice news.
Yeah, no, we're accepting RuPay. We're accepting all bank debit cards, credit cards. We're accepting all wallets, net banking, all of that stuff is being accepted now. And this is like, yeah, much more than what the Google Play Store offers right now. And we will continue to keep adding as many Indian specific payment methods as possible. So people in India can actually go out and make a purchase of the app instead of, downloading unsafe cracked versions or doing such things,
I'm asking a lot of questions, but what is the validity? Like, how many days?
Yeah, good question. The sale is valid for 1 month. So the sale started on the 8th of August and is going to run until September 9th. So that is the validity of the sale. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Karthik, could you tell our people, because I know it's 30%, whether it's the lifetime or the annual subscription. For example, in the United States, what's the regular price? And so based on that, then we are going to deduct 30%. So people have an idea of what they're going to be paying if they're going to be doing either a lifetime subscription or an annual subscription. What are the prices, especially here in the US? Regular prices.
Sure. So the regular price in the US for the annual subscription is $20. That's the regular price. So $20 for annual. And the discounted price is going to be $14, right? That's the discounted price. Or $13.99 is going to be the discounted price for the annual subscription. For the lifetime subscription, the cost in US dollars is $99.99 US dollars. And what we're going to be having in the lifetime after the 30% discount is $69. So that's basically what the price is going to be, $69.99 US dollars. So $69 if you go on the website without the extra 99 cents. So yeah, that's the price that we're going to be having on the Play Store and on the website for the summer sale. Yeah.
And is there any way that loyal existing customers can take advantage of that sale? So if I'm an annual subscriber at $19.99, can I get 30% off my next year's subscription?
A lot of users, usually take the summer sale opportunity to actually jump from annual to lifetime. So the thing is that, yes, though you are an annual subscriber at the moment, and if you want 30% off for the next year, that's not how the sale works. It's mostly for users who have an expired subscription with us, or people who took a free trial sometime in the past, or on a free trial, and so on. But if you're already a customer of a lifetime, or a monthly or an annual subscriber, we've seen most people take this opportunity to jump onto lifetime, because they, for some reason, they prefer to have a lifetime subscription with us. So yeah, I think that's a great opportunity for existing users to actually jump onto lifetime, because usually we try to avoid giving we don't give discounts on the lifetime. So when we do that, most people take advantage and jump onto the final plan. Yeah.
But users who are on an annual subscription for affordability reasons, if they took it out at full price, they're kind of stuck at full price. There's no way they can get benefit from the summer sale. It's a new user thing, really.
Yeah, it's a new and existing user thing, as in folks who are currently not on a subscription. But yeah, no, we can, and we can look at ways to also include, go ahead and include the annual subscribers as well, or existing subscribers as well. But yeah, the sale at the moment is relegated more to people who don't have a subscription with Envision at the moment, which is majority of the case, actually.
Yeah.
So in other words, though, let's say I have an annual subscription and the sales is for a month, right? Starting from August 8th through maybe, say, September 7th or September 8th, so somewhere in there. And if my subscription were expiring, let's say between August 15th or the 20th, I could now take advantage of that once my annual subscription expires, and I could jump on the $14.99 or $13.99 instead of the $20 plan that I had earlier, right?
Yeah,
as long as my subscription has expired before the sale ends.
You'd have to cancel, wouldn't you? Because it would renew at $19.99. I think the subscription, what you said, Karthik, you'd have to cancel the subscription. Your subscription wouldn't default to 30% off, would it, if it's annual? It would renew at the $19.99.
Yeah. So just to be also clear, like this $13.99 is only for the first year. It's an introductory price. So an introductory price can only be availed once, so that it cannot be availed multiple times. That's basically the rule that Apple and Google set with introductory prices. So we haven't really reduced the cost of the annual subscription, forever to $13.99. It is $13.99 for the first year, and after that, it goes back to $19.99 again, right? So users who are currently on the $19.99 subscription, if their subscription, if they've canceled their subscription or their subscription expires, yes, then they can, and go ahead and make use of the summer sale on our website. But yeah, existing users, usually what we've seen is that they jump onto the lifetime plan, because many people, it is, I understand, an affordability thing, and that's why some people stick to the annual one. But the trend that we've seen in the past 3 years is that they move usually to like a higher plan if possible. But yeah, the current setup is only for the annual subscription. It's only for the first year. Yeah.
So to me, I think actually the lifetime subscription makes a better sense, because if this is just an introductory price of $13.99 and next year it goes back to the regular annual subscription of $20, and I think one is actually better to get the lifetime subscription if one is able to, as that would actually wind up being the better price to go with, of course.
Yeah, and I think we've tried our best to satisfy all types of audiences, all types of users of the app, and I'm happy as long as someone is a subscriber, because that means they really want to support what we do and are really for getting a lot out of the app. So yeah, it's just a way. I think the subscription goes a long way in helping us continue the development of the app, right? Any subscription, monthly, annual, or lifetime, and we're just happy that if on the Android platform, if people using the app genuinely, from the Play Store, and they're paying for it and they're getting most out of it. That's all we want as developers. Yeah.
I have quite a few questions, if that's all right. If I could come in. We
Sure.
covered this on episode 29, where we discussed OCR packages, and there is extra YouTube content, including, I think, a demonstration of Envision. But I'm conscious we get new listeners all the time. So can you tell us, Karthik, what is Envision?
Sure. So for those of you who are not aware of Envision, Envision is an app that helps people who are blind or visually impaired live more independently, and we use artificial intelligence to help make that possible. So it's an app that can help you read text, recognize faces, recognize objects, and a lot. It has a lot of features within the app. But I think the one thing that people absolutely love Envision for is its ability to read text, right? And when I say read text, I mean any kind of text. So you could read text from any surface. You could read text in more than 60 different languages, including Hindi, Tamil, like so many Indian languages, so many European languages. You could read in Chinese, Arabic. You could read in Hebrew. So the thing with Envision is it's really great at reading text from any particular surface. And apart from reading text from any surface, you can also import PDFs. You can import Word documents. You can import, text files into the app. You can basically read them. You can store them directly within the app itself. You can translate text as well into other languages, in over 30 or 40 different languages entirely offline, right? So Envision is actually great at reading text, and we do have a lot of features that are like really, I would say first in class for Android. For example, helping you to scan documents more easily by giving you instructions on how to move the phone. Being able to take multiple pictures at once, so scan multiple documents at once and take them and then use them, or share images from other apps like WhatsApp or Twitter, share those images with Envision, and then read the text in them, or get a description of what is in the image. So all of that stuff is something that Envision does really well. And apart from that, people use Envision to go ahead and recognize faces or recognize objects in their surroundings. So you'd be able to select a particular object from a list and be able to scan around for that object. You'll be able to teach Envision a friend or a family member's face and then just scan for them in the crowd. So all those things are also something that Envision does really well. But I think people absolutely love Envision, we've seen people use Envision mostly to read text, especially users from India. Like I know people who read like 2,000 page PDFs with Envision. I've heard users import the PDF into the Envision app, just put their phone on charge, come back like an hour later, and then all 2,000 pages are fully OCR'd, and then they just save it on their phone and then share it with their friends and stuff like that, right? So it is basically great at reading text. So if you're someone who likes to read text of all kinds, then Envision is the app for you.
Brilliant. And you mentioned offline capability there, particularly in respect of translating. What can it do offline, and what does it require an internet connection to be able to do?
Right. So if we talk about like just reading text, Envision is able to read Latin script-based languages. So languages like English, Dutch, German, those languages are entirely being read offline. So you have instant text, which is used to read short pieces of text, and people use offline instant text to read Latin script-based Latin-based languages, right? So English and all those Dutch and German and all those languages. And if you want to read non-Latin scripts like Hindi or Arabic or Chinese, then you actually go ahead and use, that requires an internet connectivity. Scanning documents, importing PDFs, that require an internet connectivity. But once you scan a document or import a PDF, right, you will be able to save it within the Envision app. It's called in the Envision library. And if you save a fully scanned document within the Envision library, then you'll be able to go ahead and read that document offline from the second time around, right? And a lot of people use that because it's so much more easier than saving it in your SD card and then opening it with some other app and reading it. You will be able to translate the text entirely offline, right? You'll be able to go ahead and export a saved text in, TXT format. We're also going to be adding PDF, HTML support in the coming month. and we're going to be also doing a few more things there. So yeah, you'll be able to do some of the reading features online, some of the reading features offline, right? And scanning and importing a PDF needs an internet connectivity, but once you save it, you don't have to use internet ever again, right? And reading short pieces of text with instant text can be done offline for some languages, and then for some other languages you need to use an internet connection is needed for that, right? And similarly for other features, like for example, describe scene, which is, when you take a picture, it gives you a description of the scene that requires an internet connectivity. Detect colors, to detect the colors in your surroundings, that doesn't need an internet connectivity. Scanning faces and objects doesn't need an internet connectivity. So yeah, there's some features, I would say roughly about 50-50. So 50% of the features require internet connectivity and 50% don't. And the good thing, and we went to a lot of extent on Android to make sure that the features that require an internet connection, they can work on very slow speeds as well, right? Because we know a lot of people in India, for example, are not on very fast connections. So we have made sure that, even if you have like a 1 Mbps, 2 Mbps connection, in Envision is still able to work reliably, even in those slow network connectivity, situations. So it might take a bit longer, of course, because if the internet speed is slow, it will be a bit slow. But we always make sure that even on slow internet connections, Envision is working reliably, not just on Android, but on iOS as well.
Brilliant. And on the scanning, obviously, some of those documents might be sensitive, for a lot of people. Bank statements, for me, it tends to be bar bills and bookmakers' accounts, but never mind. What sort of security is in place if that's being converted online? That's something I know a few of our listeners might be interested in. How do you make sure that data being processed online is safe?
Sure. No, that's a great question. And for us, because we know that, there are lots of visually impaired people, the app is meant for people with a visual impairment. We take privacy very, very, very seriously. And those three veries are like, in big capital letters. It's bold. The thing is, we don't ever take a look at the images that you use, that you send through Envision, right? So the way our backend works, and to get a little bit more technical here for all the geeks listening to the podcast, the way our backend works, yeah. So the way it works is, you take a picture with Envision, it goes to our AI that's sitting in the servers, right? And, these AIs are like big complex AI. So what happens is our AI does the processing on the images that you take. And as soon as the processing is complete, we delete those images. So we don't store those images on a hard disk or any, or in any storage, condition whatsoever, right? We go ahead and delete those images, and we just return the result to the app, and the app does all the processing and then speaks out the information to you, right? So that way, no matter what you do or what images you take with Envision, it never gets stored, right? We only store the most basic information that we need in order to get the app to work. So things like your email address, things like your first name and last name, and things like, so those are the most basic things that we store. And, we improve our AI based on open data sets. We improve our AI with some very clever on-device, training that we do. So we do a lot of, other stuff to improve our AI, and but we never look at the data. And this is a policy that we've had from the very beginning of Envision, right? So we never we never want to do that. So we are fully, even before GDPR became a real thing, we've been fully GDPR compliant.
So in other words, what you are telling us or our listeners is that, hey, I just scanned a document, and as soon as I got my result back, that thing gets deleted immediately from your server, and I only have the result on my phone. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, no, that is correct. So it's sent to our servers. We do the recognition, and then we send the information back to you, and you never hear back from us. And we never store the image, or we don't even know what the image is in the first place,
Yeah. So as soon as that recognition is done and it displays on my phone, at that instant, it is deleted from your servers.
That is correct.
All right. So, because I think that will make people rest more easy, because I don't have a problem with that. Because as soon as that thing is recognized and the results display on my phone, that baby is gone from your server, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how we have kept it and how we'll always keep it. We'll always make sure that the images that are coming from the app are never stored even without your permission, right? So we're always going to make sure that if at all we want to store this information to for any reason at any point in time, you're going to hear about it first from us, right? So we're going to ask you, hey, can we actually store this information? Or you can say, okay, and okay, like you can have this this data or this image to go ahead and improve your services if you want to, right? But even then, at that point, we're going to make sure that all of that is encrypted and so on, and no one can actually have access to it and stuff like that. So yes, at the moment and in the foreseeable future, we're not going to have a situation where we're going to store the images, and we will never store images or use those images without your consent.
Thank you.
So you just used the E word, which is where I was going to go next. Is the traffic between the app and the servers encrypted?
Yes. So we do use a secure HTTPS encryption, right? That encrypts the data that's going from the phone to the servers and from the servers back to the phone itself. And we are anal about security. Everybody at Envision, no matter what they do, has two-factor authentication enabled. All of our servers are within layers of security, and we pay a lot of attention to that, because at the end of the day, we understand that this whole thing about privacy, it's also about trust, right? It's about knowing that your data is being handled the right way. And I just put myself in the shoes of a user and ask, okay, so are they going to be okay with me like if I'm a user of Envision, will I be okay with taking any and all pictures that I want to read? And if the answer is no, then I'm doing something wrong. And if the answer is yes, then I need to know what kind of security is going on. So we do pay a lot of attention to that, and it's an understatement when we say we pay a lot of attention. But yeah, we're quite anal about that stuff, and we will continue to be.
Good. Can I take you on now to talk about the glasses? And I might ask you a similar question to the one I asked earlier. So tell us about the glasses and why we might want them.
Sure. No, the glasses are actually, it's for people who have been using Envision for a long time and people who just there's a small bit of trivia is when we first started Envision, our aim was not to build an app. Our aim was to build a wearable, right? We wanted to actually, so the very first Envision design was like a wearable camera that looks a lot like your Bluetooth speakers, like people that, there's ones that you wear on one side, 1 year alone, right? So it was like that with a camera. So that was the main idea behind Envision, like when we first started. But at that time, it was a bit difficult for a very small startup to go into hardware, and there were also not good wearables around. So we thought, okay, let's take this technology and put that out as an app, because everyone has smartphones, and we very strongly believe that sometime in the future there'll be a good enough wearable for us to put Envision on. And that happened in 2019. So when we won the Google Play Award for the best accessibility app in 2019, I had a chance to go to the Google headquarters, get the award, and also meet a few people there. And at that time, I got a chance to talk to a few people who were working on something cool with wearables. And coincidentally, that same year in October 2019, Google put out the new Google Glass, right? And we immediately got in touch with our contacts at Google, and we said, hey, we're looking for something exactly like this. Can you just send us a unit so that we can play around with it? And they were super nice. They sent us 2 units, and we got to put the Envision app on the Google Glass, and we gave it to a few of our users, and they absolutely loved it. Right. So they said, okay, this is really cool. And the new Google Glass is also really powerful. Like, it has a great processor. So it is sort of the ideal wearable device for us. And that's really how everything started with it. Right. So what we did was we went ahead and started to work on the wearable itself a lot. And eventually, we went ahead and put it out for pre-orders in March 2020. And that's how the glasses got started, right? And the glasses does everything the app does, but in a completely hands-free manner. So if you are outside and you have a cane or a guide dog in one hand and you have like a spoon in the other hand, you don't have to have that anymore. You could just have one hand or both hands free. You could just wear the glasses and do everything that you do with the app. We also have a very special feature that is only available on the glasses, which is the video calling feature, right? So with the Envision glasses, you would be able to make a video call to a friend or a family member directly from the glasses itself. So if our AI for some reason doesn't cut it for you, you can always call a friend or a family member directly from the glasses. They'll be able to answer it, and then they get to see what you're seeing from things from your point of view, and you get to hear the audio feedback from them, and they'll be able to help you at whatever situation you have, right? So that's something that is really, really cool about the glasses. Yeah.
And can I only have one contact stored in the glasses, or can I have several friends and family members?
You can have as many as you like. You can have all your friends and family members as contacts stored in the glasses, and whenever, and you can choose who you want to call, right? And this is one capability that we're going to be expanding a lot, right? Like, for example, we are working on a feature where you can just, with the push of a button, you can send a notification to all your friends and family member, right? And whoever is free can just answer the notification and then help you out, right? So you don't have to always like go and look for that specific person and then call them. You can just say, send it to everyone, and whoever answers first can help you out. So we're working on a lot of cool additions like this. Yeah, it's like your SOS button, or you could just be like, I'm too lazy to go through my contact list. Let me just call everyone, and whoever helps me out, I'm happy. That's me as well. Yeah.
Excellent. You have a serious question though on that front. When the glasses got launched, I think you said that you would be open to other services joining that Envision portal. I'm not obviously going to ask you whether any have approached you. Be My Eyes and Ira are the obvious ones, and it would be inappropriate for me to ask you whether there were discussions. My question though is that offer still open to an app developer that thinks a hands-free solution might augment their assistance app? Can people still come to you and say, look, Karthik, I'd like to be on your hands-free solution?
Well, yes. We've had a lot of people, after we spoke about it, we had quite a few developers reach out to us, and, we're still looking out for people to go ahead, and, we're still, looking out for developers to join as well. And yes, some of the big names have approached us. We are in talks with them. And, that is going to be, when it comes out, I am pretty sure that's going to be one of the most amazing features of the glasses, because so far, all products that have been in this space have been very closed products, right? You never had like a Braille display that was open to other developers to come and work on. I mean, Braille display is a bad example, but yeah, you don't have tools that that are open platform. So we wanted to build an open platform from the beginning, and we have some interesting news to share, but it's too early. And so I'm going to keep you waiting. I'm going to keep you waiting a little longer so that things fall in place. And then I would go ahead and talk to you guys about it. You guys are going to be one of the first people to know about this when it comes out. So yes, we are going to go ahead and tell you about it soon.
Excellent. Yeah. And just finally from me, I promise I'll shut up in a minute. Can you talk to us about pricing, both for new glasses and what upgrade policy you have, if anything, when new features drop?
Right, sure. I think it's a bit early to talk about upgrade policy because we've been around for like less than a year. Easily,
no, I meant when your big news hits and new software comes, not glasses. I'm talking firmware or software.
Oh, software updates are going to come. That's one of the great things about this particular hardware that we're working with, this partnership with Google, is that since it's Android, pushing an update is as easy as getting an update for your phone. Right. So whenever you have a new update for an app on your phone, you don't think about it anymore, right? You just go ahead and update, and most of the time it automatically updates and you don't even notice it. So that's exactly how it's going to be for the glasses as well. That's how it is for the glasses right now. Anyone who uses the glasses doesn't think twice about it now. They don't have to connect to a computer and then download and update like other devices do. You just sit and then just press a button and just have the update happen automatically over the air, right? So that is something that we are constantly focusing on improving the software, adding new features. We have already done that a lot. We've added a lot of features from the time we actually launched in October 2020. Having said that, the pricing right now is $2,999 euros, for the glasses. And with that, you basically get updates free for the first couple of years, and then you pay. And then we're still figuring out what the pricing is going to look like for software updates after 2 years, right? But we're going to be we can probably discuss that when we have some more concrete information about it. But we're definitely going to make sure that the glasses get constant software updates. We're pushing out one update a month at this point, right? Yeah.
And so is that 2 years of free software updates? That's from the point of purchase, not from the point Envision launched the glasses. So if I buy my glasses on the 1st of January 2022, I'm getting 2 years of updates until the 1st of January 2024.
Exactly. You're going to get 2 years of updates from the time you go ahead and buy the glasses, not from the time we launched. That would be quite this one. But we're going to have it from the 2 years that you buy the glasses. But there's going to be software updates are always going to come. We're always going to make sure that the glasses are updated as much as possible. Like I said, we're pushing one big update per month. And we have some bigger updates planned for the coming months as well. So,
Well, where I was going with the question on updates was once your big news drops, obviously, I get that other services may charge, but any update that pushes to Envision glasses will be free for Envision users, notwithstanding what, the service itself might charge.
I mean, Envision, if we do have third-party services on the Envision glasses, yes, they are definitely going to have their own pricing model for whatever way they're going to do it. Like, if you have IRA on board, they're going to have, the minutes stuff or, still going on, I think. But with Envision, the model is different. So it's going to be like an app store or the Play Store, right? We want to build a wearable app store or a wearable app store system for people, for the accessibility space, right? So that's what we want to do, and that's where we're going towards. And I think because that will basically help the users the most, because they just buy something like the Envision glasses and they get a whole bunch of apps that come along with it, not just the Envision software. So that means that we, in a way, we're sort of advancing the whole wearable market that in our own way with this accessibility space, because from the feedback that we've gotten from users, this kind of form factor is the most interesting, most useful form factor for most people.
Are they like the glasses? They're like the hardware of the application, so they support like the same languages as the application, so they support Arabic and things like that.
Sure. So basically, the way it works is the app supports almost all the languages that the glasses all support almost all the languages that the app supports. It supports all the languages that the Google TTS engine currently supports. That's actually the more specific way of putting it, right? That's about 25 languages, and we also have a special TTS for Arabic users as well. Unlike a smartphone, you can't really install your own TTS engines like how you do on your phone, right? That option is not available yet. So that means we are only currently, relegated to the Google TTS engine, which supports 25 languages. And, we also have Arabic as well, because, we have a lot of Arabic users, and Google TTS engine doesn't support Arabic.
Like it was the first software ever that converted Arabic PDF to text with a beautiful high quality. I was beta testing since the beginning, and I'm really impressed until the day. So good job.
No, I'm glad that is the case. And regardless of Arabic or whatever, we've always actually wanted to support as many languages as possible. And because we just felt that, this stuff that we're building should be accessible to as many people as possible, right? Not just the English speaking or the Western world in general. We wanted to try to bring this to everyone. And yeah, I'm glad that that struck a chord with you. Thank you.
So I'm sitting here thinking over the price of the Envision glasses, and it's 3,000 euros. And my question is, are you guys going to be looking at some other venues that you could have collaboration with some other companies that could manufacture these glasses at a cheaper price so that you reach a wider audience of blind people? Because going this route is going to be out of reach for most blind people. And so would you guys be thinking about this down the line? I know you guys are friends of Google and all of that, and these glasses coming from Google are part of the reason why it's so expensive.
Well, yeah, that is definitely, one of the big, I would say, areas of research and exploration for us at Envision. We are always on the lookout for new hardware. And we do have, the Google Glass is definitely a very good piece of hardware. It's very sturdy, it's very reliable. And if we do find some other hardware that is also as good and as reliable and as powerful as the Google Glass, then yes, without really compromising on the quality, we would definitely like to explore other glasses as well. We are not really stuck to the, we're not really attached to the hip with the Google Glass. We're constantly on the lookout for new ones, right? So and if we do launch that, you guys will definitely know about it. We're definitely going to give people options and as many options as possible. And who knows, someday when there is an Apple glasses, you're going to have Envision on that as well, right? So we're always looking out for new hardware.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have a teeny tiny little question or a feature or a feedback or whatever. So whenever I am converting a PDF, and I just leave Envision open and it's converting, and it's in the conversion process, and I go to anything else, and I get back to Envision, the conversion process starts from scratch, which is annoying. Like, or even if I turn the screen off, that's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I think that is definitely a slightly annoying thing. It is definitely not the kind of experience we'd like to give. So yeah, I will look into it. And do know that we are aware of this thing, of this bug. You can say we are aware of it, and we are working on it. And we'll definitely go ahead and figure out what's the best way to handle this thing in the future, right? We are going to be we're working on a lot of new stuff for the document reader, and this is going to be one of the things that we'll be pushing this month. Yeah.
Alongside with that question that Mariam just asked, Karthik, now I'm talking about the translation. I tried to translate something, say, from English to another language or from another language, and I was seeing some problems there whereby, it was doing that exact thing that Mariam just mentioned, getting toward the end, and then, it says it's completed, and I can't find the translated text. What's up with that? Is that a bug?
Definitely something that we can discuss a bit offline, because I have to like really look at what's the actual issue there, right? I think it could be a UX thing, like a user experience thing. So it could be a design thing we need to look at, or it could also be a bug, or it could be something else that we'll have to see. But yeah, I would definitely be more interested to know about this offline, but like once the recording is done. So, and in general, I feel like anyone who wants to ask us questions with regards to support or report bugs or talk about any new features, our support team is there. You can always reach out to us from within the app, request a call, or write a ticket to us. We have in the recent past, we have really grown our support team a lot, so responses are going to come in a lot faster than they were. So I would definitely say give it a shot and see if it works. But I'll be happy to take this thing offline once the podcast is done.
Thank you so much, Karthik. It's been wonderful you coming up here and talking with us. And our love to Anisha out there for arranging all of this. And hey, tell her I'll have to send her a dozen roses just because. And before you go, what would be the magic word for our people to remember of all about these things that we've talked about?
The magic word for all of you guys who are listening to this podcast is going to be summer sale. That's the magic word. So yeah, there you go. please do visit letsenvision.com/sale. That is letsenvision.com/sale, SALE. Get your 30% off on the annual and lifetime while you can. Indian users, this sale is even more special for y'all because we have included all the payment methods that Google Play doesn't have. You can use any Indian debit card or credit card, including RuPay, net banking, UPI, wallet, whatever payment methods are really popular, you can use that. And when we continue to keep adding more payment methods, we're going to definitely let you know about it. And so, yes, we're around to go ahead and help you with it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Karthik.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you guys were saying in the beginning that you were going to grill me with a lot of questions, but I had a lot of fun discussing this.
It was so fun. Sorry, you're gone.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was really fun, Mariam. And I think, if I didn't have another, podcast to jump to, I would definitely continue to keep doing this for a long time. But I'm really glad to do this. Thank you for, inviting me, Ed, Austin, all of you guys. Been amazing. And
thanks very much.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's really good to see an application that was just because I was with it since it was a baby. So it's growing, it's popular. I'm really happy that it is that way. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was an honor.
No, and thank you so much, guys. And I have to tell the Android users group, and generally Android users have been super supportive of Envision from the time it launched. Right, so many countries like India. We've had so many nice users from the US, from India, from Europe, from all over the world. From the Middle East, from Saudi. And everyone has just been so supportive of the app, and everyone's really given us feedback only so we can improve. So everything, good and bad feedback, nice and critical feedback, everything is appreciated. So please do check out the app. Please do give us your feedback. Let us know what you think, where we can improve, and rest assured that we're always working hard to improve things at Envision.
Thank you. That was wonderful, wasn't it, guys? We had a lot of fun in there, and knowing that they have these different price subscriptions and all of that, and the new stuff going on. And we're looking forward to what Envision is going to be bringing in the future.
Yeah, it was a very special interview for Indian users especially, and a lot of fun, a lot of technical talk on encryption and security. So all those, it was really good.
Yeah, it was so good. Actually, I was so excited for the interview and to see Envision grow and become that popular. I'm so proud.
Wonderful. We now move on to the app of the week. And in our app of the week today, our friend Kareen Kiwan from Lebanon demonstrates the Auto TTS app.
Hi. Auto TTS is the app that enables automatic switching between TTS engines and voices based on the language of the text. The app is essential for anyone who uses more than one language on a regular basis. The app is better than alternatives because, first, you are not limited to using one TTS engine. You can use voices from different TTS engines installed on your device. Second, you have more than one mode to choose from, so you can select the one that suits your needs the most.
Gain 0 KB. Roof. Auto TTS. William TTS. Auto TTS. Selected modes. Tab 1 of 4 tab.
Upon launch, the app checks for all the available TTS engines and voices on the device.
Disable auto languages. Tab 2 of 4 tab.
The tabs are at the top. I have
selected modes. Tab 1 of 4 tab. Languages. Tab 2 of 4 tab. Voices. Tab 3 of 4 tab. Licenses. Tab 4 of 4 tab. Licenses.
Let's see the available modes.
Mode select. Not check. None. Radio button. None.
Here the detection is disabled.
Disable auto language. Check your language's radio button. Character by character language recognition. Reads Latin words by English, others by user specified language.
As you can hear, detection is character by character in this mode. The Latin language will be English. The non-Latin will be specified by the user. This is the only mode that I use. Well, I think for some users, it's better to have more customization, so the user can select the Latin language also. I think this will be useful for many users.
Not checked. Auto language detect radio button. Auto language detect. Whole sentence language recognition. Reads text by most possible language. If language can't be detected, reads by user preferred language.
Here, the detection is done sentence by sentence. The app is trying to guess the language by trying to see what is the most present language in the sentence. So this language will be used, and if the language is not detected, the preferred language by the user will be used.
Not checked. Google TTS radio button. Same as auto mode, but only Google TTS is used.
So here only Google TTS is used.
Not checked. Mixed mode. Experimental radio button. Mixed mode. Mixed auto and dual mode. All settings in dual and auto mode are applied.
Well, I tested this mode, but I'm not using it. I think this mode will be important for people who are using, let's say, 3 languages, or those people who are in need of just 2 languages, but the Latin language that they use is not English. I think this would prove useful for them.
Mode set. Mixed auto and dual mode. All
check it.
Not checked. Mixed mode. Arabic error. Check. Mixed auto and dual mode. All
Let's
settings in dual and auto mode are applied.
Settings.
Mode settings. Preferred language for Latin text.
I can specify the preferred language for Latin text.
Drop down list French. French.
So here, if the app is not able to detect the language for Latin, it will be using this preferred one.
Preferred language for non-Latin text. Drop down list Arabic error.
And this is the preferred for the non-Latin text. Okay, so what I can do here is going to the languages tab, and there I can exclude languages from the detection. So I can narrow the languages choice for the app. So finally, it will just use the languages that I prefer.
Select languages, voices, tab, license.
Let's see the languages.
Voices, tab 3 of languages, tab 2 of 4.
Well, if I'm using the dual mode, the settings will be different. There I will be having the preferred language for non-Latin text, and I can specify the language to be used for numbers and for punctuations.
Voices, languages, tab 2 of 4. Tab.
This languages tab will not be available, or the settings here will not be available, because actually I'm using just 2 languages.
Voice, language, asterisk disabled, selected. Select all languages you'd like to work with. Noted that below list contains only languages supported by TTS engines on your device. Afrikaans, A4.
Albanianski. Americam.
Ancient Greek, GRC. Checked Arabic, ARA.
Aragon Varg. Armenian.
So, all the checked languages will be included in the detection, and the languages that are not checked will not be included.
Checked Assamese, Assam. Not checked.
Okay.
Checked Assamese, Assam.
Okay, I have all of those languages because I have eSpeak installed on my device. So this is the reason.
Voices, tab 3 of 4.
I will
tab.
go to voices.
No previous. Choose an installed voice for each language.
Here I can select
Assign one
the
engine per language
voices.
to avoid switching delay.
Here I can select the voices for all the languages. If I'm in dual mode, I will be just having a voice for English and the voice for the non-Latin language that I selected.
Select language.
Because I'm here in the mixed mode, I have all the languages.
Drop down list Arabic
that were
error.
checked.
Arabic error.
Popupundo. Azerbaijaniaz.
Bangla, Ben.
Basque. Ishmipriyapi.
Okay, I will go to
Catalan. Chinese.
English.
English. Eng.
Okay.
Choose a voice for above. Drop down list. Wrong when 3 period GB. GBR. Vocalizer TTS. Samsung 3 period engine. Speech 3 period Google. Samsung 3 period engine. USA.
SNG GBR.
William TTS. GBR. Auto TTS. Drop down list. Wrong when 3 period
Okay,
GB.
I can
GBR.
select the one that I want for each of the languages, and I can assign different voices from different TTS engines. I can select them also from one TTS engine, although this is sometimes may lead to some delay.
Test button. Test.
Okay, here I can test the voice that I selected.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
This is very important when I'm selecting a voice to be sure that this voice will work when I select the Auto TTS as the default TTS engine.
Speed.
Here I can
Decrease speed button.
deal
Dash.
with speed
20%. Slider. Increase speed button. Volume.
and volume.
Decrease volume button. 45%. Increase volume. Pitch. Decrease. 50. Increase. Default button. Default.
And I can reset them to default. I have to say just one note here that if I use different speech rates for different languages or different volumes, sometimes I will have some issues. Like in the volume, I may have the volumes linked at some times, although I'm selecting different volumes. So what I prefer is, at least on my device, what I prefer is just to have a volume for one volume for the two languages. Let's say English, I'm using English and Arabic. I select 45% for English, and I'm just selecting the 45% for Arabic as well. I have to say at the end that the app is not free. It's about $10, I think. It's discounted from time to time. Personally, I don't want to imagine my life on Android without this app. The app has improved so much since its first days. It's responsive. It's really an important tool. Thank you for listening.
Now, does any of you guys use the Auto TTS? Mariam, do you use Auto TTS sometimes?
I do use it all the time. It's my main TTS engine, since I like to always mix text-to-speech engines like Vocalizer and Acapella at the same time. So yeah, I love TTS. I love Auto TTS. Sorry.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Kareen, for that wonderful demonstration of the Auto TTS engine. We now come to the tip of the week, and this time I'm talking about Talkback. We will be doing a series of tips on Talkback. Today, however, I just want to show the basics of getting started with Talkback. When you get a new phone and you turn on the phone and enable accessibility, Talkback will take you through a tutorial. So whether you're starting your phone afresh or you're resetting your phone, as soon as you enable accessibility, you're going to have this Talkback tutorial. And you can go through that. I have reset my Talkback back to factory defaults. In other words, I have cleared both the cache and the storage of Talkback, so it's back to factory defaults. I normally don't have sounds or vibration on my Talkback, but you can hear now once I start going that you're going to hear those sounds because I want you to hear it in its factory defaults. I am using my Pixel 4a, which supports the multi-finger gestures, and you need to have a Pixel 3 or higher, and or a Samsung device that's running at least One UI 3.x. I am sitting on my home screen now, and I will activate the Talkback menu. You can activate that by default with 3-finger tap, or the L gesture that is drawing a line down and curving to the right still works. I will now activate the menu by tapping with 3 fingers.
Talkback menu. Actions in list. Double tap to activate.
I'm going to cancel.
Text to speak. Cancel. Button. Pixel launcher.
Now,
Actions available.
Now I will activate it using the L gesture or the drawing of a line downwards and curving to the right. That too still works.
Talkback menu. Actions in list. Double tap to activate.
After activating the Talkback menu, these are the things that we find.
Actions. Double tap to activate.
We have actions.
Read from next item. Copy last spoken phrase. Screen search. Hide screen. Voice commands. Talkback settings. Text to speech settings. Cancel. Button. Out of list. Double tap to activate.
As you hear those menus, you notice some things are missing. Things like read by character, word, line, or paragraph, or heading, or things like that. By default, with Talkback 9.1, those things do not come on by default. You actually have to go into the Talkback settings and then under the controls like reading control or Talkback menu, you activate those. And that's what I want to show us how to do those today. Let's go to the Talkback settings.
Voice command. Talkback settings. Talkback settings. Navigate up. Button.
We are in the Talkback settings and we're landed on a button that says navigate to top. If I put my finger down and go down, here's what we got.
New features in Talkback in list. Double tap to activate.
If you tap here, it will show you the new features in Talkback, but that's not what we're going to be talking about right now. It's going to be part of our series. But let's go down.
Text to speech settings. Verbosity. Double tap to activate.
Verbosity. Here, you can go in and change as to what you hear and what you don't want to hear. If you don't want to hear too much verbosity, this is the place to go in.
Speak passwords. Passwords always spoken. On. Switch. Sound and vibration. Double tap to activate. Controls. Heading.
So under controls, here is what we find.
Customize gestures. Double tap to activate.
These are for customization of gestures.
Customize menus. Double tap to activate.
Customize menus.
Braille keyboard. Double tap to activate. Cover proximity sensor to stop speech. On. Switch. Tutorial and help. Double advanced settings. Double tap to activate. Open Talkback at the Play Store. Current Talkback version 9.1. Double tap to activate.
And that's the last item. Though the one I want us to look at is
customize menus. Navigate up. Button. Out of.
When we tap on customize menus, here are the 2 items that we have in menu customization. We have the first one is for Talkback and the second one is for reading. Let's now quickly go through those and see what we have.
Customize Talkback menu. To use the Talkback menu, tap the screen with 3 fingers. You can also swipe up then right, or swipe down then right, in list.
Let's tap here.
Customize Talkback menu. Navigate up. Button. Out of list. Double tap to.
Here are the things that we find in the Talkback customization.
Checked. Check box. Actions. Shows when custom actions exist for the current item in list.
In other words, so if you are on a button and if it has actions, if you tap with 3 fingers or you draw a line down and curve to the right, bringing up the Talkback menu, the first thing that we see says actions. So when you tap on that, it will show you the different actions that are associated with that menu or that icon that you're sitting on.
Checked. Check box. Editing options. Copy, paste, select, and more. Shows when you select a text box.
Next.
Checked. Check box. Links, open links within a focused item. Not checked. Check box, page navigation, go to the next or previous page. Shows when you are reading content with multiple pages. Double tap to activate. Checked. Check box, add or edit labels. Navigation.
And that's when you add labels, like something has an unlabeled button. You can make sure this is enabled so that it will show you how to go about adding a label. Okay, under navigation.
Not checked. Check box, navigation, read by character, word, lines, and more. Double tap to activate.
As you can see, that is not checked. So we want to check that.
Read by character, word, lines, and more. Checked.
Next.
Edit navigation options. Double tap to activate.
So having done that, what that now entails is that if we are on a word or on something, we could now find things like spell the word character by character or read something word by word, line by line. The next item we want to take a look at
Reading, heading.
is the reading. And under reading, here's what we got.
Not checked. Check box. Read from top. Starting from the top. Read all items on the screen. Double tap to activate.
So in other words, if you tap on this, it will be added to the talkback menu so that when you are somewhere on a page or whatever, the read from the top will be in the menu when you activate talkback menu. Let's keep going.
Checked. Check box. Read from next item. Starting from the next item. Read all items on the screen. Double tap to activate.
Let's keep going.
Checked. Check box. Copy last spoken phrase.
We saw those in the menu.
Checked. Check box. Copy last spoken phrase. Not checked. Check box. Spell last spoken phrase. Spell each letter of the last phrase the talkback said.
And you can check
Double
this.
Tap to activate.
I'm going to check it.
Spell each letter of the not checked. Check box. Repeat last spoken phrase. Hear the last phrase the talkback said again.
I'm going to do that.
Hear the last. Not checked. Check box. Verbosity. Change whether typed keys, usage hints, grid info, and other info is read aloud. Double tap.
And it's up to you.
Checked. Check box. Spoken language. Change your spoken language.
Now, if you speak only one language, I would suggest that you turn this off because you may sometime accidentally activate a language that you don't want. And so I personally would turn this off.
Not checked. Checked. Check box. Audio ducking. Lower volume of. Checked. Check box. Sound feedback. Hear sound effects as you navigate. Check box. Vibration feedback.
And that's why you're hearing vibrations.
Special features. Heading. Checked. Check box. Screen search. Enter a search. Checked. Check box. Hide or show screen. Hide the display so your screen is not visible to others in public places. Checked. Check box. Voice commands. Control talkback with your voice. Other. Heading. Checked. Check box. Talkback settings. Open talkback settings. Checked. Check box. Text to speech settings. Not checked. Check box. System actions. Go to all apps. Quick settings and use split screen.
That's the last item. Let's go back.
Customize.
The next item here is
customize reading control.
Reading controls. And in reality, you tend to have the same things that we saw under the talkback menu in the reading heading. And so I don't know why we have it twice.
Checked. Check box. Characters. Read. Checked. Check box. Checked. Check box. Checked. Check box. Headings. Jump between heading. Checked. Checked. Check box. Links. Jump between. Not checked. Check box. Landmarks. Not checked. Check box. Default navigation. Checked. Check box. Speech rate. Change how quickly talkback speaks. Not checked. Check box. Verbosity. Change whether. Not checked. Check box. Punctuation. Change whether punctuation and symbols are read aloud. Checked. Check box. Spoken language. Change your spoken language.
You see, it is here, and we need to turn it off again.
Change your spoken language. Special features. Not checked. Check box. Hide screen. Hide the display so your screen is not visible to us. Not checked. Check box. Audio ducking. Lower volume of other audio playing when Talkback speaks.
And that's the reading control menus. And now that we have customized that, let's find an icon.
Folder. Google. For
I am on a folder now called Google.
folder. Google. For or more.
So we're now on a folder that says Google. And now I should be able to spell the word folder and Google if I want to do it character by character. By default, you have two ways of going through the granularities. You could either swipe with 3 fingers from left to right or 3 fingers from right to left and change those granularities. For example, if I swipe with 3 fingers from right to left,
Headings. Paragraphs. Words. Characters.
Now-
Swipe up or swipe down.
now I'm on characters and it tells me I could swipe up or down. So if I swipe down,
Capital F. O. L. D. E. R. Colon. Space. Capital G. O. O. G. L. E.
I'm swiping down. Now I swipe up.
E. L. G. O. O. Capital space. Colon. R. E. D. L. O. Capital F.
Now, like I said, you could do that with 3 fingers swiping left or right and change the granularity that way. We still, however, have what I call the scrubbing up and down to change those granularities, and that's the one I prefer. Typically, in my customization, I disable the 3-finger swipe left or right to change granularities. Instead, I use the up and down scrub. So if I scrub
Links. Controls. Headings. Paragraphs. Words. Characters.
see, I'm swiping
Swipe up or swipe down.
up and down in one fluid movement.
Characters.
And now I can spell it by swiping down.
Capital F. O. L. D. E. R. Colon.
So that's how it works. And the good thing is that you could either use the 3-finger swipe left or right to change your granularities, or what I call the scrubbing up or down to change your granularity. Once you settle on a granularity, for example, you settle on word or character, then you simply swipe up or down to read character by character or word by word if you are in a word navigation. That's our tip for this week. And now to close out today's episode, Austin, how do people get hold of us?
So people can get hold of us in many ways. People can visit our newly launched website, that is blindandroidusers.com. They can email us with feedback, questions, comments. We will not read them on the podcast, but we will implement all the feedback that we get regarding the website or content or whatever. Email it to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. You can send your recorded Android journey. If you don't want to come live, then you can send it to my Android journey at blindandroidusers.com. And you can subscribe to our mailing list by sending in an email to blind Android users plus subscribe at groups.io. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on Telegram, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are growing very fast there, 330 subscribers. So thanks for that, and join the club. And also read the show notes, because all the links that I have mentioned will be in the show notes.
Thank you so much, Austin. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye,
Thanks for
everybody.
listening. Bye-bye. This is a new one.
See you all next week.
And that has been another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. As always, we appreciate hearing from you. You send those email messages to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. For those My Android Journey stories, we encourage you to send those to myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. Until we see you in our next episode, you have a wonderful day.